In British Columbia, most land is government-owned. Only 5% is private property. Now, even that 5% is threatened. Meet Gary and Fran Hackett. For 50 years, the Hacketts owned property in Vancouver, occupied by a gas station, then later, general commercial buildings. In 2011, the Hacketts tore down the existing buildings with plans to build affordable condos aimed at first-time buyers. But before development could start, the provincial government told them they needed to conduct an archaeological dig in case Aboriginal bones or other artifacts exist below the surface. Although the government ordered the archaeological dig, property owners are required to foot the bill. The Hacketts were told the dig would cost $120,000. It ended up costing $400,000. The Hacketts aren't the only property owners caught up in this expensive and Byzantine government regulation. Across BC, other private property owners have found themselves in the same situation. In 2010, an elderly Parksville couple who needed to avoid stairs wanted to build a one-story home on their property. The government told Louise and Hereward Alex the cost of the archaeological dig would be $4,000. But the final bill was $35,000. In 2012, Dwayne Shaw, manager of Victoria's Mill Bay Marina, spent between $250,000 and $300,000 for a government-mandated archaeological dig that lasted 4 months. In 2013, Kamloops winery owners Ed and Vicky Collett have already spent $250,000 on a required archaeological dig, and they estimate further costs of $40,000 still to come. In 2007, Wendy McKay and her husband wanted to tear down her parents' house in Oak Bay and build a new home. They too were told by the provincial government to conduct an archaeological dig, initially estimated to cost $67,000. But once the dig began, the couple were told an additional $50,000 was required. So the McKays took the province to court. In a 2013 landmark judgment on the McKay case, the Supreme Court of British Columbia told the province it was out of line. Justice Laura Garreau found that officials in the Ministry of Forests, Land and Natural Resources had no statutory authority to demand private property owners to pay for archaeological digs under any circumstances. But the province is appealing. The BC government labels 40,000 properties as archaeologically protected, with 11,000 added since 2005. But the government claims it doesn't know how many sites are privately owned, which means anyone could be hit with an expensive bill. And the government won't list archaeologically protected sites on land titles registries. Meanwhile, the list of private property owners forced to pay for government priorities grows. Learn more about how governments are threatening private property rights in Mark Milkey's book, Stealth Confiscation, available at www.fraserinstitute.org.